I'm on the beach, but I don't hear them at all. I can faintly hear something, but I don't know.
Did it ask you if you wanted your microphone on?
Yeah, because I'm on mute right now. Yeah,
Good morning, Mayor DiMartino. We can hear you okay. The conference room is still muted.
You're all set.
thank you.
You need it turned up?
Make it louder.
Yeah.
I don't know where they
I don't know either. I'm not sure.
Does he come out of this box right here? Down there?
No. Can you hear anything now?
Yes, we can.
I don't know if that's any better, but I brought it up a little bit. I'll have to look at it when you're not on mute. Sorry.
Okay, get the recording going. What's our experience? Turn it up. Next. There we go. Please lead us in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Sure. From the city of Ansonia, American City?
Present.
Thank you, sir. Hang on one second, Richard, we have a volume issue?
I heard it.
No, we heard it, but it should be.
Yeah, but it's.
Gotta be a lot louder than that. American City, can you just repeat your, aye?
Present.
Thank you, sir. See how it goes. From the town of Beacon Falls, I believe we're joined by, Selectman Korneski.
No, it's Jerry Smith. I'm here.
Okay.
Right there.
Hi, Jerry. Thank you.
Hi, everybody.
From Town of Bethlehem, First Selectman Sorty,
Here.
thank you for making it, appreciate the time. From the city of Bristol, Mayor Caggiano. Here. From the town of Cheshire, Andrew Martelli. I know Andrew's on. Andrew? Here. Thank you. From the city of Derby, Mayor DiMartino.
Here.
Thank you. Has First Selectman St. John joined us from Middlebury online?
Yes.
Yes, okay. First Selectman St. John?
He's joining.
Martin is present. From the borough of Naugatuck, Mayor Hess.
Here.
From the town of Oxford, First Selectman Temple.
Here.
From, let's see, town of Plymouth could not make it today. From the town of Prospect, Mayor Chatfield.
Live in person.
There he is. He's back. From the town of Seymour, is, First Selectman Dragonis with us or?
No.
Kurt Miller, no. From the city of Shelton, Mayor Loretti called, he's, delayed leaving Washington this morning, so he will not make it. From the town of Southbury, do we have, First Selectman Manville?
No.
Okay. From the town of Thompson, First Selectman Mullen.
Present.
Thank you. From the city of Waterbury, the chief of staff to the mayor, Joe Geary.
Here.
Thank you, sir. From the town of Watertown, is, Gerald's with it, Gerald.
Yes,
Lukowski.
Jerry Lukowski.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. From the town of Wolcott, Mayor Dunn.
Here.
And, is Will Gresta on from the town of Woodbury?
No.
So, well, First Selectwoman Perkinson, First Selectman St. John, and I believe a couple other towns have a probate nomination special election.
Yeah, Barbara said that she was gonna be on.
That's why they're not here.
I'm in the same
Rick,
thing.
Rick, Ed St. John here, Middlebury's here.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Morning, Ed.
Okay, Ed's here.
Okay,
I'm here.
Chairman, you have a quorum of both bodies.
Thank you, thank you. Rick, did you have some,
I do, I have-
announcement you wanted to make?
Yeah, just a couple of housekeeping things. First, I just want to introduce a new member of our staff, Christian Damiana. Where's Christian? There he is, right there. Hello. Christian joined us, from, the district, working for the District of Washington DC. Christian, you want to just tell us a little bit?
Sure. So yes, my name is Christian Damiana. I joined NVCOG about 3 weeks ago as a transportation planner. So it's nice to meet all of you. I come back to Connecticut where I grew up from the District of Columbia. I worked in our local government in the legislative branch doing transportation policy. So here I'm transitioning more into planning. I'm really excited to get started making sure that all of our towns and cities in the region are more livable for all our neighbors. So thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, today joining us, we have our land use intern, Anthony Lagana. Anthony, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, I'm currently an intern at Tom Thompson, actually with Ed, so it's good to see you, Ed. Yeah, I'm interested mainly in planning and land use. I'm a student right now at UConn Hartford for public administration, so I look forward to learning more about the work of the COG and the work of all your governments in the coming year. Nice to meet you.
Good to see you here today, Anthony.
One last thing, bit of housekeeping. So as many of you or your assistants definitely noticed, we had some issues with corrupted, meeting invitation files over the last week. Not a big deal, but we had trouble identifying whether they actually went out, whether people received them. And some people got them 6 and 7 times. So after today's meeting, all of the advanced recurring meetings for this year will be canceled. They'll all be deleted, and then we'll send out new notices starting with the February meeting. So I just wanted to let everyone know, you're gonna see them all come off your calendars and then go back.
But I trust there'll be no change.
No change. No change. But we're not sure who has them. That's the real problem.
Got it. Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Next order of business is public comment. Is there anyone here from the public who would like to comment? Yeah, please.
Hi, Ellen Graham from Senator Rubenthal's office. I just wanted to say hi, and introduce myself to the new elected officials. We're here if you need any help. Please reach out. I send grant announcements out. So if you're not getting emails from me, please let me know so I can make sure I have the proper email for you. So, thank you.
Thank you for attending, Ellen. Is there anyone else from the public? Online, anyone? Hearing none, we'll move on with the agenda. Thank you. Next order of business is election of officers. Tom, being the chair, would you please give the report of the nominating committee?
Yeah, the nominating committee met and talked about a lot of different avenues and issues and people, who've been here, and we think, the direction of our COG going forward after Mayor O'Leary led us through, through great years, that you have it and everybody should have it, or if they don't have it, we are nominating, chairman would be N. Warren Pete Hess of Naugatuck. Vice chairman would be Mark Loretti from Shelton. Treasurer Jeff Caggiano from Bristol. Secretary Ed Moan from Thomaston. The executive committee will be Mayor Cassetti from Ansonia, George Temple, Oxford, Paul Penarooski, Waterbury, Ed St. John, Middlebury, Tom Dunn, Woken.
Okay.
So,
Okay, I would like to ask though, are there any nominations from the floor? Okay, hearing none, I'll accept your motion, thank you.
okay,
So will you have a second to that motion?
second.
I'll second
Yeah,
it.
Ed St. John here.
Okay, well, we're good, thank you, Eddie. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Pete? Meeting is yours, my friend.
And just for the record.
Bob, where were you back in our day?
Just for the record, we've been joined, before the vote, we were joined by First Select Woman Dragonis and, by Will Agresta from the town of Woodbury. So they were present to cast ballots.
All right, first of all, I'd like to say that in my mind, these are very exciting times for the valley. I've never seen more money available, and it's different now because it's not just for the big cities. It's for the small cities like Naugatuck and even the small towns. The money is out there. I mean, in Naugatuck, we won the Connecticut Community Challenge. We got money from CIF for Brownsfields, Lotsip. So we're doing like far better than we've ever done. And these opportunities are available for everyone in the COG. And the COG is a great vehicle to get information as to, you know, how to do better and advance yourself. And let me say this is the time to do it. It's not often when there's money floating around. So I encourage all towns to get involved. You know, my view is simple. I'm gonna follow the path of Mayor O'Leary. Nonpartisan, run it like a business. You know, we all know the country's falling apart in Washington. The state is bipartisan. They go back and forth arguing with each other on a bipartisan basis. Here, like in Naugatuck, and I'm sure most towns, we're totally nonpartisan. There's no politics. We run it like a business. That's what we've been doing. And that's the path that I intend to follow. We have a great group, and we'll just keep it going, and we'll chip away at all of our problems. I love the fact that we're gonna have our own internal municipal refuse team. We're gonna work with the state. The commissioner said she was receptive to listening to us. So we're gonna give them some good ideas and keep working with them. Opioids, you know, everything, Kinneytown Dam, we're just gonna keep moving forward in all areas. And I would like to put in one pitch. I discussed it with Rick, but in my mind, for those of you out in Zoom land, it's better to be here live. I know sometimes I can't make it, or I sit there on Zoom and you're always disrupted and your staff's coming up to you and asking you questions. So I think it's better for everyone to make a real effort to come here live and participate in the meeting. And I think we'll get, everyone will get a lot more out of it that way. So with those comments, ready to go. Anyone want to say anything?
Good luck.
Good luck, Mayor.
I have to say motion carries nowadays.
That's gone.
All right, so where's my agenda?
So your agenda. That's a good point. You don't need all the attachments.
Yeah, this is good enough. All right, so we'll start off with the CNVMPO meeting, raise grant project, NRG trail design, Mark Nielsen.
No, Mark's not with us today and
Rich?
Rich is remote. I don't know if Rich is introducing us. Are you introducing Rich?
I am, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Rich, take it away.
Great. Well, thank you, Chairman Hess. And again, I apologize that I could not be there in person with you this morning. But we're very excited to ask for support on this project. As you all know, the Rebuilding American Infrastructure with Sustainability and Equity Discretionary Funding Program opened just around the end of last year. We as a region decided to go for what would be our first ever application as an organization directly, and an attempt to design complete design on sections of the Naugatuck River Greenway Trail in 4 towns in the region. So connecting from East Main Street in Thomaston down through Watertown, Waterbury, and ending at Greenfield in Naugatuck. The goal with this is to take advantage of existing money that's already out there. So a combination of Rec Trails awards and the local match against that state money, to leverage additional federal dollars to get to complete design, as well as bid documents and an environmental review on all of this before, leading to ultimately a completely shovel-ready buildable project. We think we have a very good opportunity here because we're connecting downtown areas. And so it truly supports the economic development side of RAISE, as well as provides for the active transportation end of it. And then, once this project hopefully is awarded and we have the opportunity to finish this design, we think it sets us up well to receive funding to do construction and move this piece of the project forward. And so Aaron is available to answer questions about specific routing pieces of it. But what we're asking for right now is for the MPO's support in the application, as well as the MPO's authority to submit to RAISE on behalf of the CNVMPO, since all of these towns are within the MPO boundaries. And we believe that in this particular case, submitting as an MPO provides us a better opportunity than as the COG.
Okay, you have an internal meeting set up pretty soon before you're gonna file the application?
We do,
You all
yes.
set to go with that? Okay, any questions for Rich? All right, let's address resolution 24-04. Can we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion Ed Mon, second Jeff Caggiano. Any questions or discussion?
I'll simply comment, this goes right along, people, what you were talking about earlier. This is the means by which we can move forward and get some of the federal money that is now available. And the means by which to do it in this particular case is for the COG bringing us together collaboratively, which is a great function that this COG can provide for all its smaller towns. For you or I to do the RAISE application on our own would be a monumental task.
No
For
doubt.
the COG to do it on our behalf collaboratively is really a great service this COG provides.
Right, and for some of the newer leaders, a raise application is a lot of work and very, very difficult. Some of the other programs are much easier and they're all a little bit different, which is why it's good to get input from COG as to the nuances of all the programs. But a raise application is a lot of work, so I'm thrilled that COG is gonna take this on. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Gotta use it though. Sounds like a pass.
All right.
Great. Thank you.
Amendments, Kevin Ellis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone. We have 2 projects with tip amendments. The first one is the multi-use trail extension in Oxford. This is extending the multi-use trail on Route 67, following the final, alternative transportation final design study report. This was approved by the Oxford Board of Selectmen in 2022. This will increase non-motorized access along the corridor. The second project is pedestrian street improvements between Baldwin and French Streets in Watertown. This was a road safety audit done by DOT in 2018 and 2019, and this will be, again, improving traffic operations and enhancing safety along the corridor. The financial information is attached in your packet. I will note there are local contributions done by both towns, but both towns are aware of this. So I'll take any questions.
All right, questions for Kevin? All right,
Move resolution, 2024 CNVMPO.
do we have a second?
Second.
Mayor Dunn? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, minutes for approval. Everyone had a chance to review the minutes.
For me. Move to approve the minutes, as presented. Second.
All right, any
12/15/23, I'm sorry.
any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Financial report,
Thank you.
Michael.
So I just need to make one correction to the recommendation that it is for 12/31/2023. Nevertheless, so this is the highlights for the financial report ending December 31st, 2023. It went out in the agenda packet last week. 50% through the year, 6 months, current net position is 157,000. There haven't been any unexpected funding cuts. We're on track to spending all of our funds, and there's no real expenses that are over projected right now. And on the plus side, we have been getting awarded either new grants, new agreements through the year, so the funding we have available to us has been increased. Outside of that, there's nothing unusual or something to note at this time.
Okay, questions for Michael?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to speak to the issue I've been updating you on about the Congress and potential retroactive 5% cut. So it looks like they got a deal, but again, just a reminder, continuing resolutions are not enough this year. They have to actually pass the appropriations bills, or we're gonna have a retroactive 5% cut. So at 1% across the board, it will effectively be 5% of our allocation by the time we get there. So, but things are looking okay, that's all.
Okay or good?
Okay, okay, I trust nothing in DC right now.
Through March.
Yeah, they have to pass it by March, and that is an important point. If they don't pass an actual appropriations bill by March, it goes live.
Okay, Rick, let's move right to your report.
You got it.
We're gonna accept it?
Yeah.
All right, a motion to
So moved.
accept the financial report.
So moved.
Caggiano, second.
Okay, any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Rick?
Sure, so let me just cover them all generally, and then I'll go back into the specifics. We've got a couple of things under my report this month. One is a policy adoption that is required for audit and other insurance purposes. We're gonna talk a little bit about soliciting your legislative priorities, and but short session, we won't be doing a lot as a COG this year. Opioid task force, we need some direction on. We're not going to have an executive session. I can discuss anything we need to discuss about that issue in public today. On the 23rd, for all of you newly elected, there is an executive committee meeting, and we will be discussing that item in more detail there. Everyone is invited, all members are invited to the executive committee meetings. So we don't need to take up that. The first item on the approval of technology policies is going to require an action. I would like to recognize Rich Crowther from the IT committee.
Okay, Rich.
Hello, I'm Richard Crowther Jr. I'm the senior GIS analyst with NVCOG. I'm normally behind the Zoom desk, but today I get to speak to you in person. So to fulfill some requirements for our annual audit and our new cybersecurity insurance, We needed to create some policies in the house, dealing with a wide range of technology issues. Some of them cover what happens to data and documents created in house on our servers and in the cloud. Also creates plans in case there's a phishing scam or we do get a cyber attack. We have everything already written down, and so we just go through the appropriate measures. And since the NVCOG board is who sets the policies for the COG, we bring them to you today to pass them. And also on call is our Chief Information Officer at Davis if you have any technical questions. But staff recommends adding these to our current employee manual.
Just a related question. We're good with cybersecurity insurance,
We are,
Sean?
yeah, we're in good shape. More importantly, I mean, I don't know if you want Ed to speak to it, Ed's online. But the committee under Ed's leadership has established policies and implemented real actions in terms of security training. You know, we've spent the last year testing all the employees on phishing scams and other activities that to help educate them in not opening attachments and not doing other things.
How are they doing?
Only one person opened an attachment, so that's good. Was not me. Although I refuse to participate in the training, so. No, everyone's been pretty good,
How sophisticated are the scams you pull on our team?
On your team? No.
On our team, I mean, to try and trick them.
Well, Ed, you wanna address the training activities?
Yeah, so the way, we use a product called KnowBe4. It's probably the largest, company that does this type of service. And there's kind of like two pieces to it. One is the actual phishing, where they send out, dummy phishing emails. And the way that works is there's different emails going to different people at different times. So it's not like, Monday at 8 o'clock, everybody gets the same email and everybody chats about it. This is a different email and different people at every single pass. And we do it a couple times a month. And it does keep track of basically the two things that I look for in there is who clicks on any links in the email, and then also who clicks on any attachments in the email. And this program will keep track of both, who clicked, etc. If they click, they get put into a clickers group and they get some additional training. And then the second component is actual training, and we do anywhere from 1 to 3 modules a month. It can go from a couple minutes up per module to up to like 45 or so, depending on what it is. And so it also keeps track of who takes the training. There's usually little quizzes at the end of each training, 3 or 4 questions. And it keeps track of who did that. The object is not to, like point the finger at somebody, "Ooh, you clicked." The object is just try to keep everybody on their toes. Because with phishing, it's very easy to get lured in. And this company, any new types of phishing that are coming out, or things that you might hear about, news, like right now, the Israeli war, or any of that type of stuff, these guys will actually adjust their phishing emails to that type of stuff. It'll adjust to current events and things. So it really does help keep people on their toes. And what we see is companies that we did a starting point, and from there we can see if we're doing better or we're going behind or whatever. So initially, from the initial one, we're doing pretty well. As Rick said, we haven't had a lot of people be lured in, so that's a good thing.
Thank you.
I would just say I stress the importance of this cybersecurity. I know I get, attacks not every day, but I'm gonna say 3 or 4 times a week, I send emails to my IT director that are, you know, very hard to figure out if it's real or not, so. I would just say, if you're not sure, send it to Richard or Edward to check it out, because it's very dangerous in my view.
There's
Do we have a motion?
Well, so, Mr. Chairman, all the policies were distributed previous to the meeting to all the members. I don't know if anyone has question about an individual policy, but, if not, the appropriate motion is to adopt the policies as presented. And just FYI, if any of you need model policies, if any of you are missing some of these, you should check the totality of the policies against your own policies. And if you need some assistance with it, you know, certainly be in touch with us. We're happy to.
You're recommending that we do this today?
Recommending you adopt today.
So move.
Okay, motion, Thomas then?
Caggiano second, but just a quick question too. Did you have to add a bunch of new stuff to this? I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah.
Because I don't recall the last one, so.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. It looks very comprehensive, so.
And we
I
should all look
appreciate the
at it
recommendation,
in our own
right.
towns too.
Forward it all.
Ideas and
And
everything.
we have that same no before. I get tested, you know, and they know if you didn't take the test and it's like, Mayor, you're. I gotta take them too. No.
All
It's
right.
good, it's good.
Any questions or discussion on our technology policies as presented? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Next.
Hold on, Rick, one thing. On your report, I recall Mayor O'Leary suggesting that we invite whoever's in charge of the new opioid money distribution plan. So is he, I don't even know if he's still involved or if
Yes.
he's not.
He's serving out through the end of the
Yeah,
year.
to the end of the year.
So.
And I'm on that panel and it's very, very intense. I
Or
mean,
should we have, do we want someone to come and speak to us about it?
You could,
I'm sorry.
no, you could, yeah.
Be
Yeah.
great to bring Mayor O'Leary back to speak.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Drew
He's
and I
expensive now.
tried to put this down because we were looking for new direction, just to make sure that we were all still on the same page and still moving in the same direction. But Drew, can you reach out and,
Sure. Yes, I'll get your chair to come speak.
Yeah, she's a good lady, one that's running.
And
So
I got items?
are we returning to regular session?
No.
There you go.
I need to go through these items, the
Okay.
legislative priorities. So we want you to feed to us any of your priorities. Doesn't matter if it's special act, bonding, or, general legislative, policies that you're adopting. Obviously, we cooperate with them on your costs, CCM, any of the policies that they're going to advance, through this year. We're gonna let them take the lead on some of the labor stuff and other things like that. We'll stay out of that. The big thing for us, and we have some housekeeping things. There's some conflicts and some lack of clarity in statutes, that were passed in the last couple of sessions that need to be enforced by the towns. They're not being enforced by the towns because it's unclear who is supposed to enforce these things. So we're working on that. I met yesterday with the Secretary of OPM and, our statewide group, CTCOG, about a number of things. One is the RPIP program, which we haven't gotten great use out of since they changed the rules. So we're hoping to make that more useful for studying, consolidation activities for towns. We're looking at the legislation dealing with the appointment of building officials, zoning enforcement officers, and the like, where it's a municipal appointment by statute, and it doesn't appear clear that you can jointly appoint the same person from different towns because of the appointing authority. So we're working on that. The big thing though, and this is what as the information passes all of you, this is really the message I want to deliver today. We have been talking with several agencies and with OPM now about establishing a pool of bonding money, and working with Commissioner Boughton, to match the federal funds. The biggest problem towns have is that you can't match all federal funds that are available. There's just not, the resources aren't there. Towns don't have that kind of leeway in their budgets. Many cities do not have administrative, authorization to issue debt. So, we want to see a big pot of money. We're talking about 100 million over, round number, over 4 years. And hopefully that's something that gets some movement, between, Connecticut Built. DOT has a big interest in this, DEEP has a big interest in this, and OPM is listening to us, and obviously we'll be talking to leadership in bonding about this as we go forward. But this is the one thing we're really focusing on as 9 COGs around the state. We're focusing on this for this session. I don't think we have anything else. Drew, the team for legislative this year, me, Drew, and Jackie Oliveira, who does policy and research for us. Drew, is there anything else we need to add on legislative?
No, not at this point.
Thank you. Opioid task force, we have some direction. We'll bring in, decision makers, and have a conversation. The thing that I think is missing for us as staff is what it is you want to do jointly as towns coming together with your opioid dollars. And where those, some of you are already doing things, some of you are already working with agencies. So I'm a little fuzzy on what we would do as staff versus the CEOs just coming together and talking about what they're doing. So, but we'll bring in the speaker. Without going into executive session on the landlord tenant issues, we will discuss this in more detail at the executive board meeting on the 23rd. But we continue to have problems. There is no heat in the front administrative offices since last Thursday. We've had, sidewalks were covered with ice. We have limited use of the parking lot because once snow, they're not regulating it. Once the snow comes, little downtown residents park their cars there. When the streets get closed down, we show up for work and we can't park. So we're still having issues. We can discuss that in greater detail next week in the executive committee meeting. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to take them. Otherwise, we can call you recording.
All right, any questions for Rick? All right, let's go to community planning, Savannah Nicole.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and Board. Today I have updates, no actions required, but I will provide you with our quarterly update. Since we last provided an update, we put out our fall 2023 newsletter, which included a municipal spotlight in Cheshire, as well as information sharing on best practices and land use from Woodbury. In previous newsletters, we highlighted best practices in Naugatuck as well as Southbury. The newsletter also provided the newest land use brief, which was provided in your packets. In this land use brief, we highlighted a new statutory provision that strengthened land use commissioners' ability to utilize expert reviews through passing the burden to the applicant. Bristol and Naugatuck kindly shared their regulations, and we got quotes from their land use staff as well, so we thank them for that. We understand that this isn't a policy that every community will be interested in, but we still think that it's a benefit to those who are. So please feel free to review that resource. Our next land use brief will review variance trends across the region in 2024. So we will be reaching out to your land use staff to get some information about that in the next few weeks. Can we go to the next slide, please? We hosted 2 events since our last update. The first was a lunch and learn in partnership with the Connecticut Housing Finance Authority to discuss their newest statewide housing needs assessment. We've done municipal level housing needs assessments in Watertown, Thomaston, and Naugatuck. Should your community be interested in one, please feel free to reach out. And then on Wednesday, we hosted our first Aquifer Protection Area Compliance Series workshop in partnership with CT Deep. And you and your land use staff should have received an email from Molly Johnson, one of our community planners, with information about the program. She made a really great resource that you'll receive via a zip file with valuable resources to helping your communities reach compliance. And then the flyer, which is on the screen, is also included in your packets. Within our region, our staff have been very busy supporting municipal housing efforts in Bethlehem, and we look forward to going to Southbury in February. We have reviewed plans of conservation and development and final affordable housing plans. We continue to provide support to your municipal land use staff as requested. We'd like to come by and visit. I'll bring coffee if you let me come in. It's a good time. So within our organization, we are excitedly working on setting the framework for the region's first plan of conservation and development. So please stay tuned on that front, but we look forward to providing an update soon. And then this quarter, we hope to continue everything that we've been doing, as well as make way on the regional plan and support your communities as requested. A project we're particularly excited about is the opportunity to support the town of Thomaston with their plan of conservation and development. We hope to establish a partnership with the town of Thomaston that will provide a model throughout the region so that there'll be a more affordable and community-oriented planning process. We don't have to be spending the money that some of these consultants ask for these plans. So we're very excited to partner with the town. Next slide. I just have one update, and it's a final reminder that your land use commissions need to provide your legislative body with a statement affirming their compliance with the land use trainings that we held by March 1st. So we will send an update to your land use staff. We'll remind them that they just have to make sure that they get it in front of the legislative bodies, and we'll probably draft something to help them just have it so it can get in front of you and your legislative, the way you organize, but just make sure you put that on some sort of agenda prior to March 1st. We don't think OPM is gonna do anything, but we don't even wanna test it. So that's my final update, and I can take any questions.
Okay, questions for Savannah Nicole?
Just a comment on my part, please, Pete. And as far as, we are working with the COG here in from Thomaston. And, to Savannah's point, you guys bring it in, and it's being brought in an economical manner. We've previously had to use engineering firms, and it was quite costly. But even beyond the cost factor, it's the attentiveness, okay, of the COG members led by FN to provide the kinds of service is greatly appreciated. And I encourage all of you, we all go through the POCD every 10 years. Take a look at the COG to provide that kind of assistance and see if it's a good fit for you. It is a good fit for Thompson.
And through the chair, just want to alert all of you to something that how important this is, and I do appreciate Savannah Nicole doing the APA stuff, the aquifer protection area is something that is, next week we're going to be in arbitration over that issue, and we have a pretty sophisticated planning and zoning commission. I was actually on it when we started our aquifer protection association, and we made some mistakes. So this is going to affect all towns and cities, and to offer this kind of training could save you a lot of money, because it's gonna be a little bit of a hit for Bristol coming up next week, to be honest. And
So the message to all the towns is make advantage of Savannah.
Absolutely.
You have to.
She'll come in
You have to.
and help you immensely.
Yeah.
She
give her
just
my
helped
flowers.
us with our POCD, helped Thomaston, so she's there, and it's a major benefit the COG provides, so everyone should be aware of that.
Through the chair, she stopped in at town of Woken this week, so it was great to see her.
We came in the snow.
Yeah.
We'll come rain,
Yeah, in
snow,
the
sleet,
snow,
we're
yeah.
there, we're ready.
Great job.
We love it. It's a pleasure to serve, and I know we all feel that way, but community planning gets the particular pleasure to visit your land use staff, come into your communities frequently, and we appreciate it, so.
Thank you.
Sure. There's one last thing I was reminded of. First, I want to thank SN and her team, Molly, Emily, and Phoebe. They're doing a great job, as you all have recognized. Two things on legislative that I omitted, and I probably should have included since there's municipal, and a strong municipal angle. One of the things that CTCOG is doing with OPM this year and trying to advance for the legislature is a clarification that plans of conservation and development, affordable housing plans, all of these individual plans that towns need to write individually, that we're looking for a clarification that we can adopt them regionally. It's not gonna change. Each town would still have to adopt the regional plan with a local annex to it. But what we wanna do is write one plan for the region, and then give the towns options to adopt the regional plan in place of their own. This way, no one has to go through individual POCDs. There's not a lot of difference. I mean, it's not like we're gonna adopt something in the existing regional plan of conservation and development that's contrary to what the towns are doing in their local plan of conservation development. So the affordable housing plan, we think these are good ways to make it a more efficient process and mitigate the cost for the towns.
The only comment I would have on that, Rick, is that there are some local issues in each town that could not or may not well be addressed in a global piece, so that I think needs to be said.
No, we'll work with you all individually on the regional plan anyway, so points taken, but I don't think we'll miss. All right,
You ready?
Thank
All right,
you.
let's go to environmental planning, Aaron.
Thank you. I'd like to just recognize Stephen Perry to give a brief brownfields update.
And just let, Mr. Chairman, just let me, send apologies to, Ricardo Rodriguez, who was supposed to present this. Ricardo had a medical emergency and can't be with us.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So project-specific updates were provided in your packet in advance. The one thing, Desiree, if you can go to the next slide, please. The one important announcement is DECD announced their round 19 funding and round 4 of the BAR program. Applications are due March 1. So it's a pretty quick turnaround. All of your municipalities are eligible for these programs. The mins and maxes are on the screen. The only one with the matching requirement is the BAR program at 10%. In-kind matching is not allowed. The other note, DECD changed guidance in the last round or two, requiring recipients to cover DECD's legal fees. So keep that in mind through the application process. Please reach out to Ricardo and I as soon as possible if you have any projects in mind. And without any other questions, that is my quick round update.
On the legal fee issue, we encountered this, as you know, we administer and act as fiduciary on behalf of a number of towns when it comes to brownfields. So yeah, we were surprised. DECD will no longer let us charge any legal fees to the grant. They take out their legal fees from the grant, but they won't let us charge yours. So we have a couple of towns and developers with surprises with legal bills of $10,000, $15,000, which is an awful lot of money to spend to close for a $600,000 grant or a $300,000 grant. But that's the way it is. They changed the rules. I appreciate Stephen reminding us of that.
Is there anything we can do to reduce those fees?
It's driven by the attorney working for the state. If they keep asking for information, your attorney has to comply. And that, costs money. We had a deal in Derby on a approved grant for 600,000?
650,000.
650,000. 7 additional requests for information after the initial request from the attorney for the state. We're not talking state attorney or attorney general. We're talking about outside counsel. Not impressed, to be honest with you, not impressed at all. I know our attorney wasn't impressed.
So is this driven federally or is this driven statewide?
State.
Okay, so then maybe that's a legislative agenda item that you guys want to take up as COG.
Yeah, we haven't been able to identify that the legislature did this. We believe it's DCD.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah. So. Anyway, I just want to give you all the warning because we have at least 2 towns out there with surprise bills right now.
3.
3. There you go.
We happen to be 1.
Yep. Okay, where are we, Aaron?
So yes, Christine O'Neill to give actually an announcement on our Soul Smart program.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Usually I'm talking about garbage, but today I'm shining some light on our Soul Smart program. As you may recall, NVCOG received our bronze designation in the Soul Smart program in the summer of 2022 for taking actions related to the promotion and development of solar energy in the region. As part of that program, we recently hosted a virtual training on solar inspection that was attended by over 100 building officials across the state, including, of course, from our own region. That action rendered us eligible for Soul Smart Silver status, which was awarded to NVCOG on December 27th. We've issued a press release, so thank you to our communications team. And we have our silver plaque here, so we are officially a Silver Soul Smart region. I want to thank the board for their support in doing this work to make our clean, renewable energy accessible and affordable in the Naugatuck Valley. And thank you so much for your leadership.
Congratulations.
And if you will, Stephen Perry again to give an update on our very successful House of Hazardous Waste program.
Hello again. Last week, we hosted our Household Hazardous Waste Program meeting to review the 2023 collections and start planning for the 2024 collections. Most of you are familiar with the program. 15 of our NVCOG municipalities participate, and it affords residents an opportunity to, as the name implies, dispose of hazardous materials that aren't accepted in your normal waste stream. that might otherwise end up in your waterways, on the side of your roads, so something to avoid. 2023 was our busiest year, at least in the last 4 or 5. We collected or diverted more than 4,000 gallons of corrosive materials, more than 5,000 gallons of pesticides, and more than almost 7,000 gallons of flammable liquids. That's a 40% year-over-year increase from last year. I want to take a moment to thank all of your staff, your public works employees who come out and participate. They are the ones that really enable this program. Extremely professional, always on time. So please extend a thank you to your public works directors and your staff as well. 2024 collections are decided, we just set the schedule a year in advance on a rotating basis. So these 2024 hosting municipalities were determined in 2023, and the 2025 collections were determined at this past meeting. So 2024, Ansonia, Saturday, April 27th. That's going to take place from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Ansonia Public Works Facility at 1 North Division Street. Then we have following collections Saturday, July 27th in Wolcott and Saturday, September 28th in Woodbury. We're still working with those municipalities to nail down an exact location. The only programmatic change we're going to have is to limit aerosol container acceptance to those that are full or partially full of some kind of non-paint chemical. Food grade full or partially full spray paint and empty chemical aerosol containers can be disposed of in your regular waste stream, both as part of, just put them in your normal trash or recycling can. We are going to provide updated literature to your staff, and Desiree and Heidi from our comms team publish notices in a variety of local publications, and we'll of course send reminders out to all of your staff.
Okay. Trails grant opportunity.
Yeah, so thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last month, DEP announced a new funding round of the State Recreational Trails Program with a deadline of March 11th. The program will fund an array of trail-related projects, including planning, design, and construction of new trails or maintenance and restoration of existing trails. There's $10 million available this round, which is more than has ever been made available previously. I sent a memo to you all and to your staff last month with details about the opportunity. I ask if you need help, thinking through a project or working on an application. We're here to help you. If you need a letter of support, we can do that as well. Just please let us know as soon as possible so that we can accommodate all those. I know last round our towns were really successful. We got more than a quarter of the funds available allocated to our region. So, we're looking to do that again this round. So, let us know if you have projects that you want to submit.
George.
Yeah, does this require a contribution of the communities?
It does. So there's a 20% local match. However, DEP is pretty lenient about in-kind match. So we can be creative with that, with our staff time working on projects or your staff's time working on projects counted toward that.
Creative is good.
Jeff, you
Yeah, that was my same question. I wanted to know if it was still 2080 match.
Okay, municipal services, emergency management, Drew.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Once again, I'm the only thing standing between you all and adjournment, so I will be brief. Phoebe Plouffe and I, from our community planning division, participated in the Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security run operation on Friday, January 12th, to better prepare local, regional, and state entities for an unplanned, unannounced influx of migrants. While we have no reason to believe and no intelligence that indicates that this is going to happen in our area or the state of Connecticut, it has happened in New York and Massachusetts already. So just to be prepared, Demis put on this tabletop exercise. Basically, large groups of migrants arrive via bus or plane with little to no notice. So Demis has partnered with public entities and nonprofits throughout the state to devise a short-term plan to address the first 2 weeks after this could potentially happen. This could include getting these folks to nearby family or friends with a bus or train ticket, or more intensive efforts for those who end up in a general area where they know absolutely no one. One thing you may want to think about preemptively is a place in town where you could temporarily hold or house these individuals until the state can come and assist and rehouse them. There may be ADA issues, animals, children, and other things to consider when thinking about this potential site. The state does have hotels on call to take these folks on once they're notified of such an event. But municipalities should be prepared with personnel to staff and set up their temporary municipal site. This is likely going to be organized by your emergency management directors, who were all notified of this training as well. Additionally, the state and other large municipalities, specifically New Haven, have intake forms and plans that may be helpful in preparing for incoming migrants. If and when this happens in your municipality, please let us know immediately, and we can help connect you with the proper people on the state level who will assist. And I'm also happy to report that John Field is back in action, and I'm not sure if he's online today joining us, and if he is, if he has anything to add. But that, if anybody's had any questions about that Operation Migrant, please reach out directly, and I'm happy to give you more info.
John, are you out there?
I'm sure John Field's still catching up on.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did say that.
So if it happens, Drew, we call you, you direct
Yeah,
us to statewide emergency
Yeah.
management.
I'm gonna come there and pass out forms to everybody first and, pet all the dogs, but then after that, yeah, they pass you along to the statewide. They seem to be pretty much on top of this and ready for it, but again, no indication that it is going to happen necessarily, but you wanna be prepped just in case.
Yeah, I think the good news is that the state is taking a leadership position on this. If it does end up buses end up arriving in your community, or I guess potentially planes in Oxford, but I don't forget. But it'll be a temporary activity for the town, and then the state is prepared to house these people, feed them, make sure they're sheltered and taken care of, and move on. So
You say that nonchalantly temporary for the town, that sounds to me like a major problem.
No, it means if 4 buses roll, Drew can correct me, but if 4 buses roll into your town unannounced, you're gonna activate locally, your EMD should be prepared to activate locally, just to set up the basics of organizing the people, notifying the state, and holding them somewhere warm or dry, as
That
weather
be
permits.
transported somewhere else.
The state has contracts to house them on a more permanent, not a permanent basis, but a more permanent basis.
We'll get a bus and bring them to Naugatuck.
But what could happen is at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, you can have a bus pull up in Naugatuck.
Right.
Could happen.
Yeah, just stay off the governor of Texas radar, and you can all call the money.
All right, do we have any other business anyone wants to bring
Mayor,
forward?
Mayor Ed St. John here. Can you hear me? Okay.
Hey.
I'm having a mute issue. Can you hear me okay? I should have asked this question. I should have asked this question under when Rick was doing his presentation about bonding and everything else. For years, and the council has totally supported the construction of 2 fire schools, one to be built by the Valley Group and the other to be done by the Waterbury Area Fire Chiefs Group. The funding for the fire schools has been funded partially. 2 years ago, this whole project had some momentum. Nothing has basically happened in the last 2 years. Is there any way we can make this on our legislative calendar through COG to get these schools moving? We've been promised for years that these schools were going to be built. Nothing is being done. The Wolcott School we're getting by. The crew's doing a great job of maintaining it, but our career departments are using, and the volunteers are using these facilities more and more and more because the cost of training firefighters. We need to get the show on the road here. There's been a lot of promises made by all of our legislative people. Nothing has been done. This region needs to make this a priority, and we need to get behind this.
honestly, personally, I'm not prepared to speak to the issue.
Through the chair, we've been in the room with some of the people that are big, you know, the main people, and with Mayor O'Leary and the Waterbury area chiefs, so the main guys. It's a political block there with a couple of people, very political. The Waterbury area chiefs and where our fire school would go, the property's there, it's for nothing. The money is sitting there for them, and it's just being held up. I don't know what we can do as a COG, but I mean, I guess just a support letter for that.
Why not do like we did with the Kennytown Dam, Mayor? You know, we've talked about it for years. I brought it up for years, and this keeps going on and on and on. And other priorities. This is a major priority in this area, especially to.
Yeah, there's someone up there that's really got this thing blocked solid.
Well, we need to unblock it, Mayor.
Yeah.
Well.
I think
answer for COG would be a letter supporting if everyone's in agreement.
We've done that. We've done that already.
I don't know what else.
Prepared letters. We've done that before.
No, with the Waterbury area chiefs, people that have, you know, I've got really good connections up there and still couldn't get through.
And which site is this you're talking about?
It's the one in Cheshire.
Cheshire, okay.
We have another valley site.
You have two of them.
And I agree with Ed that it should be a priority here. I hear it all the time from our firemen and other neighboring town firemen actually have come to me about it. It's a problem. You know, we had to bring in someone, an instructor from out of town to come into Oxford, and, you know, that's not cheap.
So George, I hear there's a problem. I think Ed wants to know how to attack the problem. What can we do?
I think Ed had some ideas, but it might be a little radical with it.
Rick?
Yeah, so the issue
Radical. I'm never radical. I just want to get it done.
I just want to see if you're
We've
paying
talked
attention.
about it. The Valley people have talked about this for weeks, months, and years, and still nothing gets done. With all the promises from our legislative people, this is an election year in Middlebury, or not in Middlebury, but in the state. It's time to either they support the fire service or they don't, one or the other. Get it done, folks.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, so, I mean, the decision that got made was made during the prior gubernatorial administration, was not changed by the current administration, which is that the state agency supervising, and I can't remember if it got consolidated into public safety and security, or if it's emergency management, I don't even know where it is, but they decided their position is they don't need these schools in Connecticut.
Right.
Right, but it's a public position. There's nothing secret about it.
That's interesting.
We've had them walking through the Wilkin one, and it's like very close to being probably shut down, very close. But all the governor gonna do is go to the bond meeting and put it on the list, and that's what somebody is blocking that very strongly. But the only way I could think, but then St. John saying, talk to the Waterbury area chiefs leaders, see where they have already gone and what paths and what their ideas are, and we will jump on board with them because they
Already been there. I can report for you, Tom. I can already been there. I've already can tell you, they want to know what's happening. They're hamstrung. Nothing's going anywhere. Anything they propose, nothing gets done. So we gotta go. We gotta move to a step higher, Tom.
Can we put this on the executive committee?
Yeah, we can add anything there.
Be glad to.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for listening, everybody.
If I can join in, this is First Selectman Smith from Beacon Falls.
Sure. Beacon Falls.
Well, there's 4 lots that are in Beacon Falls in our industrial park that have been slated to be for a fire school to be built in Beacon Falls. We don't have a whole lot of real estate that we have to do a lot of economic development. So just for the record, we are petitioning through Senator Cabrera to actually have those lots, because they're not being funded for a fire school, put back on the town's roll so we can put them back to use as industrial lots. So I did just want to let everybody know that I hear the other towns are moving to get those fire schools built, and I do support that. And I would say that the the fight to have it built in Beacon Falls can be moved to have them moved up to Wolcott in a more suitable location. So we will be petitioning to get the state to have those 4 lots put back on our tax rolls. Just wanted to put that out there for the record.
Oh, good. Then there's all the more reason to build a Wolcott school.
Correct. I fully support the Wolcott school and I would hope.
Thank you.
And I would hope.
All right, so Rick, we'll take this up at the executive. Okay, anyone want to bring anything else up, any town, before we go to adjournment?
You almost made 11 AM.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Opposed?
Good job, Pete.
Good job, Pete. Good job.
Yeah, you did. Only 2 minutes past 11.